forest in northern London. The night fell, and the forest in northern London was covered in darkness. A loud scream echoed, piercing through the silence. Lucy held the baby in her arms. Surrounded by the darkness, she was running for her life, panting, soaked in sweat, but not daring to stop for even a second. Alice, with her cold eyes, flew over and blocked her path. Lucy panicked and turned around, searching for another direction. Sensing something bad was going to happen, Lucy, looking at her baby, stealthily stuffed a charm and a whip into the diaper ring. As she placed her child in the hollow of a tree, a cold wind sent shivers down her spine. Alice had appeared behind her. A strong gust of wind blew Lucy away, slamming into a tree, blood pouring out from her mouth. Lucy crawled up and tried to run forward. The further she ran, the more likely her baby would live. The wind blew stronger and stronger, and a deafening thunder rumbled. Lightning sliced across the sky. Alice's whole body was flaming red. With her eyes bleeding, Alice then frantically rushed to strangle Lucy, even as Lucy was plunging the knife into her stomach. Alice laughed loudly, looking at the woman who was suffocating and struggling in front of her. Lucy's eyes rolled back as she constantly kicked into the air to fight for her life. With her last energy, Lucy struggled and muttered, "You betrayer! You filthy beast! Go away!" Hearing Lucy's words, Alice exploded with a fierce hatred, the veins in her eyes bulging with rage. Her hair flew carelessly. She bared her teeth as if she wanted to swallow Lucy. Lucy's stab somewhat made Alice weaker, but she still risked her life to sabotage Lucy. Her fingers pierced into Lucy's neck, causing it to bleed badly. As Alice strongly swung her hand, Lucy crashed into a tree and fell to the ground, gulping, with her neck torn apart. She died with her eyes open. In the old days, Alice and Lucy were disciples of the same shaman. Since Lucy was always praised by their teacher, who promised to pass his fortune on to her, Alice became jealous. The demon in her became more powerful, and she practiced enchantment with the hope of surpassing Lucy. But the kind of charm she was using was so evil that their teacher angrily drove her away. In a rage, Alice killed him and committed suicide. Soul turned into a demon, seeking Lucy for revenge. Lucy's baby suddenly woke up and cried aloud. Her body struggled around. The cries startled a weakening Alice. She turned around, looking at the tree hole, and stretched her long arms to strangle the baby. As her hand almost reached her, an invisible force knocked Alice away. Having been stabbed by Lucy, and with the power of the protective charm on the baby, Alice could not find a way to approach her and was forced to leave her alone. The baby's cries echoed across the forest. Peter and Eva, a couple, heard the cries and went outside to check it out. They found a child abandoned in the hollow of a tree. Looking around, they did not see anyone. The couple could not bear the idea of leaving a baby outside at night, so they took her home. Peter and Eva had been married for 10 years, but were still without a child. Thus, they were really happy to look after the baby. The couple decided to raise her as their own until she grew up. Eva named the baby Bella. As Bella grew older, she proved to be able to see demons. In other words, she had spiritual eyes. When she was small, Bella had always been disturbed by the demons because of her extraordinary power. In her sleep, she always dreamt of her mother being murdered. When she became a young adult, she promised that she would use her power to take revenge for her birth mother. From that point, Bella's journey to conquer the demons began.
Subscribe now to My Novels to enjoy a journey of the best mystical, magical, and mysterious stories.